Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Thanks for being here. Is anybody here for the first time? Woo! 1, 2, 3. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. What you are at is a weekly meetup that we do here at Buzzed Coffee. Thanks to Amber for hosting us again this week and the weeks going forward. I don't know if I told you this last week, but they open up early for us every Wednesday so we can do this. In exchange, we'll buy coffee from them. So thank you, Amber, and the team here at Buzz Coffee. Oh, a clap. Claps always take me off guard. They catch me off guard for some reason. Boos, I expect. I've been booed before. Yes. All right, so you're at 1 Million Cups. It's a weekly meetup that we do. It's for people with new ventures like Eric to talk about their thing for 6 minutes, and then we open it up to you guys to question and answer for 20 to, oops, we went to sleep there, 20 to whenever we feel like it's over. But 20 minutes is generally like the benchmark there for time for questions. Eric talks a lot, so maybe this one will be 25 or something like that.
Turn 6 into 60 real quick.
Well, we'll cut them off before 60. But a couple of quick announcements. Key Start is happening tomorrow. It's a pitch competition for a $5,000 investment. That's one of my other programs. That'll happen next day from today. Tomorrow in the Warehouse District. There are details on startuppeoria.com. We're signing up for Startup Weekend. If there are any questions about that, let me know. Startup Weekend is a 2.5-day business model building competition. At the beginning of the weekend on Friday, there's ideas that are presented, then teams form, and at the end of the weekend, there's presentations. So you create a real pitch-ready company in 2.5 days. It's pretty great. It's real-life startup experience, and Brian's going to be there. Yes, raise your hand. That's Brian. He'll be there. Don't clap for him. Don't boo him either, though.
Never boo Brian.
Don't boo Brian. So I think that's it for my announcements. Other important, fun things are happening, so make sure you sign up for our email list. Any page of startuppeoria.com, you can find the Join Our Email List little button at the bottom. After that, hi, Nan. After that, that's it. So 6 minutes for Eric starts as soon as I can weasel in and find a seat next to Barbara. So please welcome Eric Reeder.
Hey. Welcome. Good morning. My name's Eric Reeder. Thank you for coming to 1 Million Cups. The more times you come to 1 Million Cups, the more times you start businesses and bring your entrepreneurial friends, the better my business will be. So thank you. What I'm here to talk to you about, which will be just real quick, not to bore you with a PowerPoint or anything like that this morning before you go into more PowerPoints, but I have a new digital media property called Prairie Entrepreneurship Notes. Say that 3 times, or just say PEN. PEN's a lot easier to remember. And PEN is the go-to source for entrepreneurs, innovators, creators, makers, business owners, and all the hardworking men and women here in America's Prairie land. So my focus is not on me, it's on you. So congratulations to all of you for being here. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Randon, and everybody else who's already been a part of this so far. So what I am looking to do here is kind of connect a lot of loose ends that are around the community. I've been involved with Startup Peoria. I've even presented at 1 Million Cups, been involved with Startup Weekend, and I even presented at Key Start. Fortunately, I lost, but I'm still starting something here, which is, it's an online publication, and it's based out of my own S-Corp that I have already set up and established, which is Reader Area Development. That's no importance to you, just remember PEN, please, from here on out. So what I'm looking to do is stretch across central Illinois, not just Peoria, but Decatur, Springfield, Champaign-Urbana, Bloomington, Normal, and talk to all the people who are starting businesses, who have been in the business scene and entrepreneurial scene for 10, 20, 30 years. Doris is a great example of this. You're going to networking events, you know people that I don't know. So my goal is to promote who is doing things right now to everyone else that's out there, because they, despite all of the information that's out there, they still feel like they're not connected. They're still feeling like something's missing, and there are a lot of these frayed wires and connections that aren't being made. So I'm here to introduce people to your business, to you. I want this to serve as a valuable resource to people. So you'll see when I get to the actual website itself, there's features like a market, a business directory, real estate listings, and a job board. So, depending on what it is that you're looking for, from space to even a segue into a full-time job somewhere with one of the local innovative companies, I'm trying to hit on all of those notes. So the content itself is kind of wide and diverse. It's based off of a lot of things that are going on around right now, like Silicon Prairie News, Chicago Inno, there's EQSTL, there's a bunch of things talking startup tech, entrepreneurship, and all the big money that's floating around. Well, as you may know, we have a little bit of that here, but we need to grow that. So in part, I'm looking to cover some of those topics, but then expand into other things as well. So there's artists, there's culinary artists, there's people that are working on a whole bunch of different things. There's people that work for companies that help their companies grow. So it's not solely focused on only people who are entrepreneurs. I know there's some new people here, but just a quick show of hands, who has their own business that they've started? So not everybody in the crowd. Who is working for a company right now? A little bit more than that. Who's interested in entrepreneurship but not really sure what it is or how to do it? All right, one person. So all of you are covered on that. I guess I could shut down and go home. No. So there's a lot of people that are flirting, testing the waters, trying to see. We're getting out of that big box retailer chain mentality type of thing, and we're trying to figure out how to start our own new businesses and doing some different things that we've been missing here for the last few decades. So what Penn is and what it does, it's not a media company, it's not a marketing company, it's an online publications, but there is things that I do personally offer and future freelance contributors will offer, from posts, integration, social media, emails, all these different things to help get your message out there. For those of you who don't know me, I've been involved with Startup Peoria, Bike Peoria, Impact Hub Peoria, Central Illinois Landmarks Foundation, Pekin Main Street, all these different things. And we talk in our own little bubbles in each one of them, and we don't connect any of these things. So the movements live and die with each one of these things. So what I'm kind of doing is casting a larger net to go out to each one of these different entities in the business world, the GPEDC, the Chamber, ISU, Bradley, different things right now that are communicating in their own little silos and trying to facilitate partnerships and say, hey, let's try to get things on the same page. We've got these events, come over here, participate in these events, and then, hey, let's get our word out so people can become more familiar with what it is that is going on, because there is a lot of stuff going on here, despite what Chicago may think about us. There is a lot of activity, and I know you are all working hard to be a part of that. So my goal is to get that out there. Our readership is kind of all over the board right now. It's primarily younger, but that's just because it is a digital world that we're living in. So I'm looking to bridge the gap, connect with these different partners around Central Illinois doing things. So you see here, this is just part of a partnership kit that I can pass out to you later if you are interested in this, but I'm looking for civic and corporate partners as well as small businesses. So the business model itself, you're wondering, how is Eric going to do this full time? How is he actually going to afford Buzz Coffee the next time he comes in here? I know that, I understand that. So I'm working for partnerships, I'm working for advertisements, and as well as the listings. So it's kind of a three-prong approach to generate revenues and also keep content flowing frequently and consistently, which is an important thing that it seems like we're missing out. People see an article once a month or once a quarter, and that's just not enough consistency and frequency. So the most important thing you can do today is visit prairienotes.co and follow Prairie Notes on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I guarantee it's going to be a wild ride. You'll see yourselves on there every once in a while. Denise has been one of my subjects so far, and it was great. It's gotten shared out. So prairienotes.co is the domain. You can go. It's a daily website. It'll be updating frequently with new monthly features. I think maybe you caught just a glimpse of different topics from entrepreneurship, food, fashion, home, kind of the bigger, broader topics, arts, entertainment, and those sorts of things. But underneath it all is going to have that. We are the business people, the entrepreneurs, the local talent around here, and the tag is Make Your Mark Here. So you'll see that on the above tab. when you click on the website. So I think that's an important thing. You know, you are all choosing to be here. You are all doing something interesting while you are here. So, you know, let's spread that word that we're making our marks here. Catch up with Chuck if you can. Here was a local business person, a leader in the community. Went from city council to now a state senator, but has a lot of great things to say, from failing, which is an important thing that we also need to talk about more frequently, to also successes in helping out, mentoring people, and his role as an angel and helping out, kind of spreading things exponentially. So this is just one example. You can see how things are laid out here. There's a calendar, so monthly events, 1 million cups. There's one here, but did you also know there's one in Bloomington Normal, 1 million cups, McLean County. So if you're ever in that area, you should go check out the local folks doing their thing there. Or if you want to get out your message to a bigger audience, that could also be a great opportunity for you as well. The market, which I talked about, directory, jobs, all that, so on and so forth. So you'll see it's pretty lean right now. I've put this all together within 30 days. So while I've worked in several jobs, I've never really had to take on business, web, and content development all within 30 days, get something live, and then have to present in front of a whole cast of characters so quickly. But such is the life of what is a startup. So even though I've had an S-Corp established for 5 years now, this is, by the truest sense, a startup. So we'll see what comes of it. I hope there's some good things that will come out of this. But most importantly, I hope to get your message out there, you out there, to connect you with different real estate listings, different jobs if you're interested in transitioning, businesses if you need help with photography and videography. I know a guy back there that would be you can go into the directory and find him. So I really do want this to be a resource. Please, contact me. I've got my email up there. You can always contact via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter as well. My door is always open, and I will probably follow up with you at some point to have some coffee or an adult beverage after that. So I'll open it up for questions. I think that's enough out of me. Who wants to be the first feature? Nobody? You're all good? You don't need any promotions? No marketing?
I already did it.
You good?
Already done.
Brandon's done it. Denise has done it.
So how, you talked about the other communities that you're trying to reach into.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going there yourself, or do you have surrogates there that are representing your information? How are you doing that? It's interesting when you talk about marketing a
Yep.
business, and this is your business, how you reach out to communities outside of your home area.
Yeah. So with the way it has to work right now, just based off of money to only pay myself, I'm the one going out to these communities, and I think that kind of helps as a first step, connecting with people, shaking hands, introducing them to this concept, because it is a little bit abstract until they can see it. But then the goal is from there to have contributors and parties in these different communities that are deeply rooted, that want to help communicate the message of what's going on. A lot of people aren't familiar with what's going on in Champaign-Urbana right now, but there's a lot of stuff, and there's even stuff in Decatur that's going on right now. Springfield's got a lot of new things happening, but we just need to kind of grow that pot, just as what we do here on a weekly basis of inviting more people into the mix as it grows.
So it's safe to say that as one of your partners, I don't then have to go to those communities to develop those
Correct.
connections, because you've already done it, and I just need to connect with you. So
Right.
What you're getting to.
Exactly. So there's a lot of people, and it's no fault to any one individual, but we have a tendency to kind of stay within our own area, our own territories, and it's hard to get out, even if it is to, I saw you up there, our own area. So my goal is to expand out and say, hey, I don't know if you're familiar with Denise Moore. Here's what she's doing over in Peoria. She is looking to get out here. It might be good for you to sit down, have some coffee at some point, or talking with an investor. Hey, did you know about this company that I just ran into in Springfield? So I'm kind of an ambassador, a quasi-economic development something or another. But I'm hoping to be a tool and an asset going around the area. My goal isn't to change any of the communities. I've tried that in the past to some degrees, but This is more as just serving as a resource and being that kind of communicating arm and entity. So.
What does success look like for you?
Well, success, if we didn't have to earn any income, I could do this anywhere, anytime I wanted to. But I'm looking to grow this. I'm kind of taking on a 90-day window each point and kind of doing benchmarks and checks to see where things grow and kind of adapt and tweak things. This model is kind of a hodgepodge of different things. At the Key Start competition, I asked people to raise their hand if they thought print media is dead, and you got some groans and some hands raising, and it's not about that either, because I do have aspirations for print, either on a quarterly or semi-annual basis, video, audio, a whole bunch of different things. So a mixed media approach before I go into too many big vision, big thought ideas right now. It's kind of see if this works in this 90 to 120-day window. If there's problems with it, it's something that you can easily change and adapt to. So I'm kind of open to things right now and excited. It's been a success so far in 11 or 12 days. There's been a lot of traffic, a lot of views. Some people have already said that they've gotten contacted and gained their own business from that. So that's my intention. Doris.
You have up there in your category jobs.
Yep.
Okay. Kind of
You want to see it, don't you?
well, yeah, because in our community, we some people have retired and some have lost their jobs, and so. But how are you going to define that versus if I go to the Peoria Journal Star and look for a job? So.
How's that
kind of
user
define
experience?
Jobs, how we just is our jobs. You're going to list jobs that entrepreneurs tell you that they have available, or
Correct.
you're going to open it up to the market?
So you can submit. We can have that conversation at a later date. But so One Fire is a great example.
Okay.
They've got a position open right now. We've worked on a partnership deal, and they previously had another position open that they just recently filled. But this is kind of the one to get things started. So it is going to be what should I say, audience provided, as opposed to being an aggregate type of like an Indeed or Career Builder Monster type of thing. But your creative services, your financial, your tech, all these different things that help this community, this ecosystem grow. So you probably won't see like babysitting jobs or part-time cashier type of jobs, but like a senior software engineer type of job. So depending on who has things available is really kind of what it's all contingent upon. Does that help answer?
A little bit.
Because I know I've been there. I've done that like 3 to 4 times here in this area, searching for jobs, and it's been like you just scroll and then you get bored and then you go watch TV. So if there's something a little bit more curated and directed towards what you might be interested in, and the hope is, why would I want to put my job here? Well, these are the people that are interested in entrepreneurship, innovation, these types of things. So maybe the candidates that are coming to you with the resume in hand are hopefully a little better qualified, and that might help. If they said, oh, I saw you on this, and yeah, I've been reading this, and I'm really interested in the startup scene, and it'd be great to work for a startup like yours. You can say, hey, that's great. It's a little better than the 90 other people that I've gotten that just need a job.
So is this prairienotes.co, is that a website?
This is a website, so an online publication that has a lot of different features, so you can even buy things from it. So John, one of the Key Start winners with Alluvian, you can buy some of his soap, try it out. 30/30 coffee, you can purchase some beans, different things like that.
How are
I
you
think the
driving
most
people to it?
What's that?
How are you driving people?
People to your website.
Right now, within the first 15 days, it's all been online, word of mouth. It's going to be a lot of these things, so I'll be presenting in 1 Million Cups, McLean County here shortly, but then getting out, meeting people, talking to people that way, and as soon as things start to materialize a little bit more, then you'll start to see posters and flyers and all that good stuff.
So how, like if you were searching online, would it pop up if you were searching for, I don't even know, 3030 Coffee, could it possibly pop up then because they're on there?
Yeah, in like your traditional SEO sense, because I've done already an article with 3030 and also have them up on the market, it could pull up, but it's not going to be that mapping search tool that
Okay.
I guess when you say coffee near me, it's not going to pull up my website in that way. It'll pull up still like it does Buzz Coffee, 3030 Coffee. So the best way, and this is the only thing that I'm asking for you guys, from you guys here today, is if you can share an article, a link, or something out on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram today. That means more than any applause. That means more than any handshakes and anything else, because that does help spread this message, get people aware of what is going on.
What about, isn't there a way to invite other people to like your Facebook page, and of course that's linked to the website?
I suppose you have to have your own Facebook page to do that, and that's where I stop short. So I have my own Twitter account, but I don't participate in Facebook on an individual basis, so I'm cutting myself short, but the few, the proud, the resistors. But it is a great tool, and I've seen it from several other efforts and organizations. Like Peoria is a great instance where we've grown a movement which started essentially from a Facebook page, and it's grown exponentially over that, so I'm not totally hating on it. Yes, Denise?
So I'm gonna pry, because my husband also rejects Facebook. Why do you reject Facebook?
Oh,
You don't have to share it.
yeah, can we turn off the mic for a second? So,
And we'll talk later.
a lot of, no, and I think this is a tie-in, so if any of you are familiar with the Whiskey City Collaborative, that was something that myself and a few others had created as a social commentary to get some of these thoughts that aren't normally out there, and to do it in a way so that it's a little bit more sophisticated. So why I don't like Facebook is, I'll use a good example, the Journal Star. There's a lot of people that jump on Facebook to use that as their soapbox and pump out a lot of misinformation, a lot of hot opinions, and it really comes from no valid or researched point. So I try to stay away from that. I would rather be on the front end, not in a critical or analytical or objective type of way, and put something to distribute it out there. In our own offline conversations, maybe I'll tell you something that I probably wouldn't post on Facebook. But in today's world, you know how it goes. You see a lot of that out there, and that is why so many of these things are starting, is because there is this gap to fill out there in the digital media landscape. It's not like I wanted to start another website. The world doesn't need another website. So hopefully to be something of a resource to weed out and disseminate some of that misinformation that gets distributed so quickly with the press of a button.
Thank you for sharing.
Nicole?
I was curious on your content and how you're coming up with, I guess, enough content for it, or how often, like, are you having to get out and make a lot of in face-to-face meetings, or are you having to make phone calls every day, and how
Yep.
are you deciding what content or which people are future content?
So as I was kind of building this out over a couple months behind the scenes, I created different calendars and different content that I'd like to see and different things that I don't even know. So I was doing research on my own to see what is out there. And so I've already started to build out, and after we get done here, I'm going to talk to Amber and say, Amber, you've got a new business. Let's talk about this new business. You'd be a great feature. But yes, at 9:30, 12:30, I've got meetings set up to talk to people who want to contribute to people that we're going to be doing an article with. So it is, like right now, I'm having to guide the whole thing because it's really in my own mind right now. Whereas in past efforts, there's been some other contributors as things have grown, and they've been able to jump on and say, this would make a great story. And I said, yes, that would be fantastic. I had never had that idea. And their words, their way of telling the story is a lot better than mine would be. Once you hear me over and over, you can tell I'm monotoned. It gets old listening to me for even 6 minutes. So let alone 60. So having other voices into the mix helps. So, hopefully in month 9, month 10, there's less of Eric running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and other people in these different areas that say, yeah, I was here at this event in the warehouse district and they're giving away $5,000. It was cool. Can I do a story on that? I said, yeah, that's fantastic. I had no idea about that. So, Denise.
So this is kind of a different question. I see you as an opportunity for me as a business owner here in Peoria. Since I already know you're going to be going out to these communities, are you interested in someone bringing you into their, let me call you a consultant and say, hey, Eric, I'll pay you X number of dollars so that.
You already said the right things. Yes, I'm interested.
Okay. So that way, going to Springfield and Champaign and Decatur and all these
Yeah.
places, I don't have to go there because Eric's already going to be there and I can give him my information and he can start spreading that information for me.
In a way, yes. In a way, yes. In a way, no. Not as an employee of, but as a means to connect and to grow the network. Yes. So that was the question I was hoping you were going to ask too, Brandon.
Can you give us an example of something that we might not know about that's going on in another community in downstate Illinois, not Chicago?
Yeah. One of the things that I saw actually on Twitter, which made me click through, was in Springfield they're opening a business incubator. So this was something that myself and some others in the room here had spent some time on. And so we were interested, curious, and we can see the value in it. And it was something that kind of dwindled away, and something else evolved out of that. So Springfield has it going on, and it's 3 years behind our efforts. So that's something that I think where if people from Peoria and Springfield were to connect, maybe it becomes easier for that community to get something up and running, or in places like Champaign-Urbana, where the University of Illinois they have a lot of alumni support is the best way I can put it, and they're able to do a lot bigger things than we've been able to do thus far in the tech sphere. So making trips and travels over there, it's an hour and a half away, so it's not that far that we can gain some experience ourselves. Or if it's a business that's like really focused on this one niche, they can go over there. So Peoria doesn't have to create this whole thing for X amount of dollars. That's probably coming out of your tax paying support. So connecting and linking those things. Galesburg is a good example as well. I have a weird spot in my heart for Galesburg, but it's a community with less than 30,000 people, but they have a sustainable business center over there. So if you have something, food or energy related, it might be a good place for you to start over there, because they have some runway already built up on some of these things, some businesses that have already learned. So those are the things that I think are cool and interesting. I hope others do as well. And there might be somebody in here today that's like, I have this idea for a sustainable, fresh foods grocery store or something like that. Where can I go? Okay, there's a business over a co-op that's starting in Normal right now. It might be good to pair up with them, or go over to Galesburg and learn what sort of SBA resources are available for that.
So what if, we mentioned, fresh food, what if Fresh Market wanted to be on your side? I mean, what's the parameters around?
There's always a price, Barb, come on.
As
No,
long as
I mean,
you're willing to pay-
you don't ever-
You're not really an advertising firm, but, it seems like that's.
Within reason. Sure, it's great. I won't say that we can't have franchises, we can't have national support. They play a big role in our communities as well. It'd be great to get people that are at that level interested. Like if Whole Foods said, this is fantastic, yes, I would agree, thank you. Because that helps me grow what it is that I'm doing. To single out and say, no, we can't do this because I don't know if I disagree or agree with something, I don't know, but if it's like a single site or something like that, or some mingle.com site, I don't know that I necessarily want to partner or advertise that.
So
In past efforts, I'd say absolutely not. I have my own
side.
personal beliefs against we should be supporting our own local entrepreneurs and growing innovation from within. So no, I'm not interested in that, but that's very limiting. And you guys know as business people yourselves, once you start kind of blocking off the walls to income and revenues, then you're kind of putting your own tombstone out there in the cemetery. So we'll see. If it grows to that, I would love to even have that conversation when it comes.
I'm just thinking, advertising dollars for a big company, that's fairly reasonable to
Yeah.
think they're gonna get some exposure, especially if you start spreading out, and connecting with all these other locations.
Yeah, and I mean, it is finding the larger corporate and civic stakeholders from around the area, so who may not be getting out there as much as they can, and using what it is, my editorial, I guess, skills or insight to promote their message and to get people to come to what it is they're doing or their website or share something on Facebook, whatever. So.
So it sounds to me like the time you're putting into this, that this is a full-time thing for you, not just something you're doing on the side, not just something you're sticking your toe in and
Yeah.
going, "Oh, try this." Am I hearing that correctly?
You got that right. So I guess another thing I wanted to differentiate was, in the past, I've started out as kind of blogging, which is kind of something you're doing in your free time. Maybe you hope someday will become monetized. It's kind of your own opinions, this is me in the story, your own narrative. But this is something, this is the other side of it. This is something that I'm looking to do full time because there is such a gap, a window. And I'm dedicating, I don't even want to tell you how many hours right now thus far, but I think that kind of comes with the territory. I'm sure you guys have the same experience, and that's what I want to get people to know is like the 10 to 14-hour days. It's not uncommon. Having a spouse that's saying, you've got your stuff everywhere is not uncommon.
Well, I like that one.
So, and then it is to connect with people who do have their, like a freelance business, something where I can kind of say, hey, let's kind of throw some money over this way so that you can write some stories, do some photography, some design, some videography, so that there's different unique pieces along the way, and it kind of takes the burden off of me. So instead of trying to start a big media conglomerate right off the bat and having to hire all of these people at once, it's me having to take it on. So you'll see me with my camera, me typing away, or me trying to sell somebody on something. So that's what's been for the last 30 days, and so it's been good. Anything else? Please support your local coffee shop.
What is the capital of your business and what is the revenue you expect from it?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Oh, so what is the capital for your business? How much it is with individual?
To step in here, we are not allowed to talk about money
I'm sorry.
at this event. If you want to connect with Eric afterward, then you're free to ask whatever question you might. Okay, no problem.
Short answer is I don't have any money to put into it. Welcome to entrepreneurship. We can talk offline.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Thank you.
What can we do? What can we do?
I said before, and I will keep selling it. Please visit prairienotes.co. Go into your mobile phones. Find Penn on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. That's at Prairie Notes. And instead of applause, just make my phone buzz with tweets, retweets, shares, follows, and all that good stuff. And I hope to talk to you guys offline so that we can kind of continue the conversation. Thank you. Support your local coffee shop.